Hi, what's going on guys? It's Almond. Welcome back to another Wizard101 video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Lost Pages event. I know no one has really uploaded a video regarding the Lost Pages event. I know there's been plenty of guides on YouTube, but there has been an updated one, so I kind of wanted to upload a new video just for the sake of the YouTubes, and people can look back on this later down the line. I know currently the Lost Pages event is going on till the 14th, but someone might be seeing this video down the line and trying to figure out how to do the Lost Pages event. So I thought I would make like an updated guide on basically the whole event, and it should help you roughly throughout the entire thing. So if this is something that you guys want to see more of, do let me know. But if you do enjoy this type of content, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that type of stuff. And let's get into today's content. So the Lost Pages event as a whole gives you, I believe, 9 badges, and there's also 4 different monstrology minis that you guys can collect from this event. So this is the only time you guys can collect these 4 monstrology monsters due to the fact that they only spawn in during this event. So if you wanted to collect, for example, the Spellwraith Ronin and like the Banshees, of course, all those, the Colossus, this would be a good time to do it just if you want to be collector's sake, you know. This would be your time to shine, and definitely collect some just to have in your house or something like that, or just have it in your monstrology totem. Never know, right? But other than that, there is some quite rewards that you guys can get from here. There's the Dragon Rider gear that a lot of people do tend to farm for. The only other time people either try to get this gear is whenever the pack returns during like a Pack-a-Palooza, or like they do like a throwback type of thing. That's the only other time you can get that. I got my sword and gear from the pack whenever they brought it back for like a brief period in time. I think there's like a YouTube video I left on this channel quite a while back where I actually opened packs of that. So you know, you could be that type of person like, oh, I don't want to, you know, I don't care about the monstrology stuff, I don't care about the badges, I'd rather wait for the pack. You know, you guys can definitely do that. But since the event's here, I thought I'd, you know, make it so you guys can have easy guide of trying to do all this stuff, because I know it's quite a lot of quests. I think it takes a while depending on the time frame you have, but you know, it just really comes down to if you want to do this or not. So when it comes to the quest tree, you actually have to do the whole quest line in order. So if you want to do the Azteca one, you actually have to do the Trident Avenue one and then do all the prerequisites. Once you do all the prerequisites, you can do the specific ones of whatever ones. You can stop at whatever one, of course, you know. But most of us, I'd say, are max level, and most of the people who are already max level probably have done this, but you know, some of them haven't, you know. So we'll talk about all that stuff. So let's say your level's underneath level 20. So you would do the Wizard City quest tree, which would be the first one that you get and you start off with. If you want to start in Wizard City, what you first do is you get the quest from the librarian. I know there's going to be some dialogue back and forth amongst some people. You have to go to Ravenwood and etc. And then what you do is you eventually make your way to Trident Avenue. You gotta defeat some Spellwraith Banshees. Pretty simple. If you do want to collect these, you guys can with their undead extract, if that's something that you want to do and have these as house guests. Definitely you guys can do that and get some extra animus out of it. But the best way to find these guys, they're clustered together a lot in front of the Harvest Lord's Tower. You can go over there. There's a lot of Banshees that are clustered. I honestly say that's like the best spot to finish this quest, just because they only spawn there. You might get like 1 or 2 Scarlet Screamers, but mainly it's just Spellwraith Screamers, so I wouldn't trip out about it too much. Once you finish that, you do a little bit of dialogue back and forth, and then you fight the first boss. This boss, remember, keep in mind, if you are if your level's underneath level 20, you are able to farm this boss. But if you are above level 20, don't expect to get any drops, because this isn't within your target level cap. So keep that in mind, but you have to do these quests anyways. But it's pretty straightforward. You just fight some Banshees, and then the second floor you can actually fight the boss, and it's a storm boss. Pretty straightforward. They don't have that much HP. You can basically one-shot them. But if you are level 20, what you could do is you can farm the sword, and the sword is different per level, right? I forgot to specify that sword is different per level. It looks basically the same all around, but the effect of the sword is different per school. So the one that drops specifically from here is the fire or storm one. So if you wanted to have the Dragon Rider Storm Blade or the Fire Blade, you can only get it from this specific boss, and you have to be within the target level cap. So that's the only sucky thing. I mean, if you don't really notice the sheen effect or anything like that, you don't have to worry about it. So if you just want the overall sword and how it looks, definitely just farm the designated like level cap that you're allowed to farm, and you'll be fine. After you finish that quest, make sure you turn it in before you move on, and once you do that, you get a badge and you continue on to the next quest tree. Now we're in Krokotopia. Krokotopia is the level cap is underneath level 30. So if you are underneath level 30, this is what you would farm. So if you're in between 20 and 30, this would kind of be your place to farm. To start the Krokotopia one, what you want to do is you talk to the sergeant, which is he's literally sitting there directly in the middle of Krokotopia. And what you can do is you can talk to him. He'll give you a quest to start the Krokotopia one. For the Krokotopia one, this time around, you guys fight some spell-writ stalkers, and they're in the Grand Arena. If you wanted to extract these for Animus, you can just use Colossus extract for these particularly. Now with these, there isn't a particular good way of farming them because they're kind of clustered between two spots. The best way is to just take the yellow teleporter in the Grand Arena and come a little bit outside near the entrance, and there's a lot of sand stalkers, and within that cluster you should find a lot of spell-writ stalkers included within those clusters. So definitely this is kind of like going to be your best bet. Moving forward, it's going to be kind of an issue because most of you guys are clustered together compared to Trident Avenue, which Trident Avenue had like a really good spawn, but these are really clustered together and it's going to be quite annoying. But once you defeat a bunch of those, you guys can move on with the quest and repeat the same process, which is dialogue. And then once you finish all your dialogue, you're able to defeat the boss. And this time around, same situation as the Wizard City one, where it's 4 spell-writ stalkers instead, because that's what you do for this quest. And then you can make your way on to the actual boss, which this time around is an ice boss. So if you wanted to farm this and you are underneath level 30, what you are gonna get is the Dragon Rider Icy Blade, I believe it's called, or the Ice Blade. So you can target this if you wanted to. Just make sure you're level above level 21, but not, you know, just underneath 30, and you can farm this at your heart desire. Of course, you can have a max level carry you through this, and you know, you can still farm all this if you wanted to. It just comes down to personal preference, but if you wanted to target just specifically the Ice Blade, this would be your best bet. Once you finish the fight, same thing, finish the whole dialogue, and then you guys can get your badge for completing the Krokotopia one. Now we move on to MooShu. For MooShu, what you do is you can grab the quest from, I believe, the person that's right next to the world door. She should have a quest for you, and then once you start that quest, you might have to fight some spell-writ Ronins in the ancient burial grounds. Now this one is a little bit more difficult, just like I said, when it comes to the Krokotopia one. Best way to do it is take the yellow teleporter in MooShu, and there's 3 different pathways. If you just cycle between all those 3 different pathways, you can find some spell-writ Ronins mixed in with those. I'd say that's the best spot for you guys to go do it. I know there's another spot you guys can do it as well, but it's just not as consistent, because this way you have 3 different pathways all surrounded by you, while if you go where the wraith is usually spawned at, there's only like 1 or 2 spots that are like viable. So instead, just take the yellow teleporter and look around. You should see some spell-writ Ronins, and you guys can extract this with undead extract if you really wanted to as well. Once you defeated all 10, same process. You have to do some dialogue, go back and forth within some people, and then you take the mirror in ancient burial grounds, which is right next to the teleporters, and defeat the next boss. This boss, same process. All the dungeons are kind of mirrored, where you fight the spell-writ whatever of that world, so in this case Ronin, and then you can defeat the boss, which is a death boss this time around. Now if you wanted to farm this, you have to make sure you're underneath level 50. This one drops either the Myth or Life Blade. So if you wanted the Dragon Rider's Myth Blade or the Life Blade, farm this one. So this one and the level, or the Wizard City one, you can get 2 different variations. The Wizard City one drops you a level 0 and a level 10 version, and the Myth and Life one have their own respected levels as well. So if that's something up your alley, this would be your spot if you wanted the Myth or the Life one. Now after you defeat the boss, same type of dialogue. Once you turned it in, you get a badge and you can move on to the next world. Now we're in Celestia. Celestia wasn't even that bad. If I'd say Celestia was a pretty easy one compared to the other ones because the spawn rates. The spell with Wild Claws can spawn in 2 different spots. Ideally, I'd say go to the one right next to the teleporters. That would be your best bet because they can spawn in clusters to 2 to 3 versus just getting 2. So if you are trying to farm with multiple people, maybe trying to get this quest done, definitely get those clusters of 2 so you can easily finish this quest even faster, because of the fact that most of these quests require 10. So you got to keep that in mind when doing this event. After you finished all 10, same type of process as before, where you guys do some dialogue, go back and forth within some NPCs, and you guys can go within the mirror. Once you take the mirror, you can fight the boss designated for this world, which in this case, first you got to fight some Spellwrit Wild Claws, and then after that you can go defeat the boss, which in this case is a life boss. The life boss drops a death blade, so if you wanted to get the Dragon Rider death blade, this would be your best bet. And like, keep in mind the effects are very minuscule, but I know some people will want to farm this. So if you are within the level which is underneath level 80, this would be your spot to farm the death blade. And once you finish the boss, you go back and forth within some dialogue, and then you can go back and get your badge. Now we move on to Avalon. Avalon is kind of a little bit slow compared to the other ones. I wouldn't say it's the worst one, but definitely it is kind of slow. So what you do is you talk to the person right next to the world door. They should have a quest for you, and they want you to defeat some Spellwrit Fomori's. You can't really extract these. Same thing as the Celestia ones, you can't extract these. So kind of sucks. They do look kind of cool in my opinion, but you can't extract them. So there's 2 spots that you guys can get them on the high road. There's one where all the Fomori's are grouped up together, and there's a little area next to it, which on the left, which 2 Spellwrit Fomori's can spawn at. So definitely fluctuate between both 2 areas, and you can get this done pretty quickly and move on to the next part of the quest. After you finish all that and you get all 10 collects done, you have a couple dialogue going back and forth, and then you can go within the mirror. Same thing with this mirror, you do go in it and you do fight 4 handsome Fomori's, just the Spellwrit versions, and then you make your way to the boss, which this time around is a myth boss. So with this boss and the Azteca one, they drop the same weapon, which is the balanced one. So not much variety when it comes to this, but this one and the one that's going to be coming up soon, they both drop the balance blade. They still all drop the same gear, and you can get the other versions of the Dragon Rider gear. It's just the wands are just going to be dedicated to a certain one because the unique versions of them drop at certain levels. After you defeat this boss, do some dialogue, and then once you finish it, you should get another badge. Now we make our way all the way to the Azteca one. So you have to do all the prerequisite quests to do the Azteca one. So if you are a max level or anyone that's above level 80, you have to finish all the quests to be able to do it. So keep that in mind moving forward. But you do the Azteca one, talk to Bakal, and he should have a quest for you. And you go to Twin Giants and defeat some Spellwrit Wingtooth. The Wingtooth are kind of annoying just because the fact that they don't walk as fast, but there's only 1 spot you guys can find these. Compared to all the other ones, there's like 1 or 2 spots, maybe even 3, but these only spawn in 1 specific spot. So definitely try your best to pull some. If you have to, definitely switch between realms. But the most I've seen spawn here is 2. I know some people said 3, but I think from my experience, the most I've seen is 2 in this area. So good luck trying to get 10 of these. You might even have to do 10 separate fights, because this, in my opinion, has to be the annoying one out of all of them. But once you finish all that, there should be a teleporter or a mirror right next to the Spellwrit Wingtooth. But you can also extract these if you guys wanted to. Make sure you have extract dino, and you guys can collect these for your house as well. Once you take the mirror, you guys can do the last dungeon of this whole quest line, And same thing as before as the other ones, you guys defeat one of the spell writ, whatever of that area. So this is the wing tooth, and then you can make your way to the boss, which is Bentley Daysong, which a lot of people are going to be farming this one, particularly because of the fact of their level. But keep in mind, all these drop the same gear, just to their respected level. The only thing that's different is the sword and its effects. Beyond that, they all drop the specific one. You just have to make sure that you are within that level. So the Dragon Rider gear and everything like that are still dropped the same amongst all of them. You know, if you're within that cap, it's just the sword that has different effects. But there's also the mount that I know a lot of people are trying to get, and all of them drop the mount. Just make sure you're within the level cap of whatever ones, and you can farm that particular one for whatever drops you want. And then once you defeat Bentley, you turn the quest and you have all the badges done and all the extracts done if you wanted to. So would I say this whole event is worth it as a whole? I know a lot of people are going to ask, and it's kind of perspective based. I mean, it's not like it drops game changing gear or anything like that. It's mainly just for the stitches and badges and monstrology extract. The event doesn't come back that quite often, so I mean, it's it's definitely worth doing and just getting them done with, right? And who knows, you might get a Dragon Rider sword, you might get some gear just to have for your collection's sake, you know? But I definitely recommend it to anyone that's new and that's been playing the game recently. I know there's been a lot of people that have been playing the game recently, so definitely give it a try. It's worth it. You get some badges, get some gear, get a sword, or even get the mount that you can get from one of these bosses, right? But like I said, just keep in mind the level caps and everything like that. So if you are level 80, or if you're above level 80, you would want to farm the Azteca one. If you are underneath level 80, you are going to be farming the Avalon one. And if you're underneath level 60, you'll be farming Celestia. And if you're underneath 50, you'll be farming MooShu. And then if you're level 30 and below, or basically underneath level 30, I mean, you would be farming the Krokotopia one. And then anything that's underneath level 20, you're going to be farming the Wizard City one. So definitely, it doesn't cap you out where like someone can help you, but like a max level can help you with the Wizard City one, but the max level will not be getting any drops. So keep that in mind as well. But that's basically the whole Lost Pages event. You can get all the badges, all the monstrology, and you guys can definitely farm some gear if you wanted to, right? I know some people are going to definitely want to farm some of this gear, so wish you guys the best of luck. And to all the people that see this video down the line in the future, if we ever get this event come back, which it's going to eventually come back, but maybe this video might help you down the line. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all type of stuff. Join the Discord if you guys haven't. We're close to 300 members, so I would appreciate if you guys can join the Discord. And if you guys have any questions, you guys are more than welcome to DM me on Discord or even ask in the Discord. I appreciate all the guys that have been joining. Appreciate all the people that have been watching the videos. I know we've got like a huge amount of subs recently, so I appreciate all you guys. But that's gonna be it. Hope you guys enjoy. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that type of stuff. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.